days, I am back from my trip to the UK and Paris, and I've just dumped stuff on my desk. I need to get organized. And I thought I would take a chance or moment to share some things with you. These are actually part of my October haul, so I won't show you these now, but you'll see those either just before or just after this video. This is my what do we call it? Art as a Hobby October. One thing I can show you is this little case that I got while I was in the UK, because I kind of got fed up with having things like displaced. So you would have seen my video, maybe you haven't, but what I'm taking to Paris and London video, and it obviously featured this small little doodah what's it, but what I found is had my tombos loose in my bag and it's really irritating me. So I searched for something that would fit my tombos. I don't know that I can fit anything this side because it feels like it just bulks it out too much, and to be fair, it's not like I'm going to be taking loads of tombos out and about with me. Well, it does work a little bit actually, but what I wanted is, I'm not sure if I've mentioned, I joined Ian Finley's. I basically bought his rural sketch course. Watched the first task, like the first workshop. Remembered that he does a lot of work with Tombow brush pens. These are primarily the ones that he uses, as well as a couple of N60s. But my understanding is, and you've probably heard me say this before, that the Tombows are not light fast, and that's fine by the by, like, you know, because I'm mostly working in my sketchbook. But if I did want to work on an actual piece of paper, I want to know that it's light fast if I want to put it up on the wall. So I got these Faber Castells, which you will see in the October art haul video. So I'm excited to these. I didn't take them to the UK with me because they're a lot chunkier in comparison, probably like twice the width, and although they're shorter, they're just a lot chunkier. I'm looking forward to really using these, but for when I'm out and about, I'm probably just going to take like the basic kit that I use for my Ian Finley type workshops, which are the Tombows, the Winsor & Newton watercolor palette, which you've seen before. Look, I actually put it to use while I was away, a sketching pencil. And then what I haven't put in yet but will are, you know, like extra things I might need, and also my micron pencils. Now I thought I would give you an update. I took this to the Paris, but I actually didn't use it for anything. So I actually sent it back to the Netherlands, to our house with my partner, because I just wasn't using it, so it made no sense to take it all the way to UK. And something I've discovered, oh, let me show you what I bought while I was in Paris. So we went to the Shakespeare and Company bookshop, which my other half David had told me about, and he was talking about like, oh, it's so cool because the guys that work there, you know, they're writers and they sleep in these like beds and and then we got there and he's like, oh my god, what happened? Because we had to queue for like 20 minutes to go in, and apparently Emily in Paris has made it famous, or more famous, so he wasn't very impressed with that. But we did have a wander around. I bought a couple of books, and I got these two postcards, mostly because I love the style of illustration for the garments, and I thought they were really cool. I love the fact there's no like actual physical outline, it's just blocks of color. You can see there is an outline around the plate, like anything white seems to have an outline, but otherwise it doesn't. And these are by someone called Neil Packer, and then there's another one here as well. And I just thought they'd be fun either to like, you know, sketch a section of it, or to use as like a section as a color palette. I just thought it'd be like a really fun little micro inspiration thing to have with me. Now in terms of pencils, I showed you this before I left, I believe. I pretty much used every pencil in here. You can see the greens are a little worn down, and this was really handy to have. I loved having this little case with me, to the extent that I was even eyeing up a bigger version. The problem is the bigger ones, they have like multiple, almost like pages, and actually what I would like is one like this that's wider but just single layered, so it could spread out on my lap. I think that would be perfect. I'm gonna keep searching to see if I could find one, but in terms of just having, you know, a minimal color selection, this worked out really perfect for me in Paris. And then this is the sketchbook that I took with. I showed you this in that video. I'm just gonna side note here, it is freezing cold suddenly. We were in Paris walking around in shorts and t-shirt. That was a week ago, and in the UK it was like lovely, and now not so great, to the point I've actually put my heating on. So oh, actually I can start at the beginning. I won't do a full narration of this, I'll just flick through, because I actually will do like a sketchbook tour at some point, and I don't want to like bore you with double over. This is the Place de Sorbonne, and I was sat there sketching this while my partner went back to the hotel room for a book to read. This is not yet finished. Beautiful little building. It was a pub near the Notre Dame. And then Genevieve, and next to it, so from where I was sat, I could see Saint Genevieve. and the Pantheon, but I didn't draw the Pantheon because I ran out of time, so I did the hotel room. We stayed at a hotel called La Dame de Pantheon. And then on our last day, the Jardin de Luxembourg, I did some little sketches. Bigger sketch. This is massively out of proportion. Something went wrong during this process, but it's fine. This is not yet finished. I've been working on this for the last week because my method was to lay down a whole bunch of tombos, as you can see, and then to work on with the colour after, but I actually only just laid the tombow down before we had to leave because of our trains. So I've been working on it since, but it's taken a couple of hours already. I'm working from photos. The problem I have is the photo. So from where I was sat, I couldn't see the pond, but from the photos I can. And so I've had to work with the photos because otherwise what would I put there? I don't know. I'm not very good at making stuff up yet. Then, oh, this is a blank page. Oh, and then when I was in the UK at my dad's, I did this Patreon. It was a recorded one from, I think, Sarah Dyer, and it was to do with lighthouses. Yeah, lighthouses. I need to say windmills. Lighthouses. So these are all timed. The color I actually went back in and added after. And then on the screen, because it was a recording, there were actually 6 images, so I boxed them out, so I'd have like specific places, but then that one never got shown, so I didn't do that one. But you can tell from like, as I got further and further along, they got better. But also what's interesting to note is I really enjoyed working on a very small scale with just the ink. And it's similar. I think this is what's so fascinating about like learning a new hobby, like investing and exploring. These ones, I really like these, you know, this is like bad execution, but I love this simple textural way that I've used the pencil crayon on a small scale. And I feel like, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. These, like the still life stuff is a bit like naff and like meh. I don't enjoy the still life aspect. I enjoyed doing that standing at the train station. And again, like naff did not really, you know, I did it and I enjoyed doing it, but I don't go back and look at me like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, I love this and that. Like I don't, but I really like this simplified version. 1 second. And I thought I'd just compare it to something that's a lot bigger that you've seen by this point. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. Like I really love this. I love how loose and sketchy it is, and I love the large format. I love this tiny like, what is that, like a 1/12 of the overall size of this. So I love these smaller ones that are more detailed but smaller and making more use of line work. It's interesting because they're very different. Like they might use the same pen, but this is very like liney and precise, and this is very scratchy and scribbly. 2 different styles. So I found this a really fascinating process as well. On the Ian Fennelly membership, so in the Facebook group, a lot of people share their work. I've not yet been brave enough to do that, but it's helping me to see the difference between, this needs to be finished, it's not finished because I haven't put the additional layer of color and I haven't done the tonal stuff in the tombow, but I can see that I like this compared to other ones I've seen in the Facebook group that have a lot of dark tones, like really dark heavy blacks. The same with this one. Like I was really enjoying this one up until the point that I went in and I put the thick black lines and the thick black window, well, it's not really a window, is it, because they're turrets. And I just love the color pencil version. And I think that's what I love about these, is like there's no big areas of like dense black. I think that's as far as I've gotten in this one so far at this point. Yeah, a little bit scattered with my thinking, with my thoughts there, but essentially just trying to say that the act of trying to do something arty every day is really helping me to see what I like and what I don't like. And you know, it's a journey, it's going to be a very long journey, but even just in terms of finding out, you know, the size of paper that I like working with, the type of paper I like working with, the materials, like it's a fun journey. And so that's something that I've learned throughout this first half of October that I'm really chuffed with. So I hope you're enjoying your October. I'm going to finish here, and if there's anything else exciting, I'll come back throughout the months to share with you. So I'm feeling a little bit inspired, and I played around with some gouache the other day, and I thought I would just create like a 2-page panel of gouache boxes really. So I've used cobalt turquoise Holbein, marigold Holbein, and then Winsor Newton opera pink, which I believe is fugitive, and I've just kind of created like a mess of different colors from here. And my plan is to just use some materials and experiment once they're dry, maybe tomorrow. But I thought it might be just a fun little project, something, you know, have fun in your sketchbook. That's what people say. So here's a fun page. Okay, it's a Saturday morning and my little half is still sleeping, so I thought I'd continue this. So I started this last night and I was just really it stemmed from this. I got my pastels out because everyone raves about them, and I was like, let me see what I can do. And I was smashing them on the page and just layering the different materials over the top, just experimenting. And then I was like, well, let's try the Faber-Castells. So I laid those down underneath all this with some neo colors, and then smushed it together, and then went back on with a bit of Posca, which I smudged. These were some polychromos, I think, and illuminants, and I was just smudging stuff. And then you can just see it, but I went in with some pastels, soft pastels from Jackson's. Here. I quite like that. You know, it's nothing special. It's made up from my head, but it is what it is. And then before I went to bed, I was like, well, I should probably recreate as close as possible the base layer using the Tombos, because if you've seen my video that I've partly recorded, I don't know if it's live yet, I bought the Faber-Castells to do because they're more archival than the Tombos, apparently. But I was like, well, let's just do the Tombos anyway. You can see that they've bubbled the fabric, the fibre, the paper. So I'm just going to work on that today, and I'll give you an update at the end. Actually, I feel like I should share my thoughts on what I'm going to do. So this is my tin of existing chalk pastels, which you will have seen at some point over the various hauls. I can't remember what brand these ones are. And then when I went to my local art shop maybe in September, I think, I got these turquoise and orange colours. You may or may not have seen them in the art haul video in October, because I'm recording this halfway through October, but these are Jackson's. I think I got 10, 3, 6, 9, 10 to try and play around with because they're cheaper. So, and I'd seen this color, which is beautiful, fluorescent pink. So instead of doing the whole like neo colors, luminance, pencil, dry media here, well, it's still going to be dry media, but I'm going to do pastels instead, just to see what I can do for the fun, because that's what sketchbooks are supposed to be, right? I've never used this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I think it's got some nice shades of stuff, so I don't want to put too much in there. But I do like the pink coming through here. But I don't know if I want to like smudge it too much. I quite like the texturalness of these pastels. This one is warm grey. Don't know. Let's do, because I'm right-handed, let's do that heel first. So here we made it quite sandy. I don't know that I have a lot of sandy colors. I have a light green ochre. I have a dark olive beige. No. Yeah, dark olive beige. And this one's quite like woody. I don't know what to do. I don't have enough colors. Maybe this one we're gonna make more solid. I also don't have any fixatives, so this will be fun. I've got hairspray though, and I think that's safe to use, isn't it? Yeah, we need to do that one. I was about to do that one, but should we do something bold there? So I've never used this before. I ordered them months ago. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. I don't want to put too much on. I quite like that reddy, rocky terrain, almost. Actually, maybe what we should have there is a little bit of that pink from the sky coming through. Like, you know, when the sunlight is hitting the hills. like that. Okay, then we want the pinky ready section. So let's use, I've got apricot pink and salmon pink and fluoro pink. Let's go with this one. Now bear in mind, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm making it up as I go along. Nope. Okay, now we're onto the sea. I will probably zoom through this because I've just realised it's like 6.5 minutes for our hobby notes. It's quite long to add in. Should we use some of these guys? We used this one for the sky, didn't we? So we should have some of him in for the reflection. I feel like it's okay here to get a bit of that orange because that would be reflecting, wouldn't it? Okay, let's go with a little bit of... Whoa, these are the schminky. As I said, no idea what I'm doing. Bit cool grey. I don't like having wet fingers. Not wet fingers, chalky fingers. One sec. Yes, I did just put them in my pot of dirty water from yesterday. But it's fine. So that's like the chalky part done. I'm going to ponder this for a moment. I think what I'm going to do, I never do this, but I might use my Inktense pencils. But I'm going to do it like, because I never use them. Well, rarely. So I thought what I might do is stick them in and add some detail. Now the trick is going to be getting the right kind of tones because, what one's this? Sienna Gold. I don't want to accidentally put in. I feel like they all need a good sharpen actually. I should probably put that somewhere else as well. Am I recording? Yeah. So that it's like uniform, right? I don't know what I'm doing. But I think that's probably clear to anyone watching this. Should we do some... I don't have any like pinkies for down here. Maybe like a nice green. Ionian green. That's the one I was thinking of. Like a little line of trees or something. Going up to the horizon. Should we put that somewhere else though, so that it like matches? This is what I hear I'm supposed to do. I like how they're smushing together though. We'll have some at the water's edge as well. Not sure I like this addition. Sorry if you can hear my tummy. I did eat breakfast, but I have a tummy situation at the moment. So it's not working. This one's not an Inktense. It's a Supercolor Caran d'Ache Soft watercolor pencil, turquoise blue. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just make it look like it's water. But in the clouds. Oh, I forgot to put the blue on here. I feel like we need something here. I don't like that. And I think I'm just going to use the Ionian green again. I'm bored of this now. I'll finish tweaking it and I'll show you the end. I added some Neocolor ones, which you will have seen in my October haul video. So that's the one from last night. This is the one from this morning. So it's nothing exciting, but you can see it's messing with the paper as you would expect with the art creations. But I had fun. And now I need to go and do real work because although it's a Saturday, I've been ill and away from my business. So I've got lots of stuff that needs doing. I'm going to try hairspraying this to fix it. And that was about a week ago now. I got some, what do we call those things? New Posca pens. I got like, I think it was like a skin tone set, it called itself. So there's ivory, beige, light orange and brown. And I just got them off Amazon NL. and I was experimenting again like I do, just having fun, because I'm in quite a few Patreons now. I need to stop joining Patreons because I'm spending a fortune each month now. But I put down the same color here and here. I blended like so from the brown through the colors down to the ivory from the top down, and then here you can see I've done luminance colors over the top, and they worked nicely. And the polychromos didn't work so nice over the Poscas, the colors that I chose. And then I can't remember if I put a bit of Neo color on. It's possible that I did, but that would be Neo color 1. And then because I was having fun doing that, I was listening to something really boring, like an online seminar, so it kept me company. And then this one was mixing up Poscas that I already have with these colors. So you can see that this one I had mixed orange, this one the pink, and I think this one the maroon. And I was just trying to get the juice to flow in those ones. They're thinner, they don't have the chisel, they're thinner. So I was just trying to like pump out quite a bit and then mix it and blend it underneath. It didn't work so great. And then I came in with my Neocolor ones, the wax ones, not the watercolor ones, and some polychromos. Obviously these are nothing exciting. I'm pretty aware of that. But it was great fun. And that's what I got up to last night. Today, I have to do loads of sewing for my business because I'm behind schedule. But there should be a video going up today on Isaro color mixing. Actually, I just remembered I didn't share this with you either. I did an actual live call, Sarah Van Dongen's Patreon, and I was drawing children. And they're all timed drawings from photos that she puts on the screen and then she removes them. So it's the 23rd of October, so a few days ago now. And so the Patreon is really for illustrators, I feel. Everyone on it seems to do much more illustrative stuff than I do. But it was fun. So this is a kid that was being held, like a small baby being held up by grandparents' hands. This was 3.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 5 minutes. That's his toe, but I got the angle wrong. This guy looks a lot older than he is. That's really cute, but dodgy. 6 minutes, 14 minutes. He had flip-flops on, but I omitted those. And then 4 minutes, 9 minutes. I had to keep rubbing this out and doing it again because I kept getting everything out of proportion. 4 minutes and 3 minutes. And then this one was the last one. I think we had 20 or 25 minutes on this one. And yeah, these are 2 separate photos. So there were like 4 or 5 children around the table for one photo, and it was her birthday. I think I've ended up making her look like she's vomiting rather than blowing air. And this guy was a separate photo, and I decided to connect the 2 together. So that's what I've been up to this month as well. Hey, we are just into November, and I realized that I didn't finish off with an outro. So these are just a couple more pages I did in October. So these are some actual photos provided by Sarah Van Dongen in her Patreon, just different cat poses. I then joined Katie Moody's at the end of October, her Patreon, and I really enjoyed this one on different trees using, these were markers, Tombow markers with pencils, and then these were Neo colors, and I really enjoyed that. And then I can't remember, I think I was out with David and I was experimenting with just minimal colors per thing. And then this was the Sarah Dyer Patreon session. It was a live session with her following photos from books mostly. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching my October hobby notes. I've had great fun practicing my skills, learning from different Patreons. Yeah, it's been lots of fun. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching. Please give the video a like if you're still here at this point, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care. Bye.